well friends, it's Adele Kingan here of the Wellbeing Weekly. This week I'm asking you to take a whole hour out of your week for yourself to connect and vitalize your core. We're going to work holistically with this region to really start to understand how we can not only build stability, but really open up a lot of space and flow that will really support the rest of our body and indeed the rest of our life. So I've got a 50-minute tailored practice for you where we almost embrace it like interval training. There will be moments where we'll have lots of bursts of intensity and then moments where we really repose and relax to really have a nice balanced expression and movement in our practice. And then I invite you to spend the last 10 minutes really unwinding and working into any particular areas for yourself so you can really have this sense of being connected to center and a sense of how you will then take that into the rest of your life. So the only props you're going to need today are a block. We're going to put the block between our inner thighs, and if you don't have a yoga block, it could be a rolled up towel or a cushion. So go grab that, get your mat rolled out, dedicate a whole hour, maybe light a candle or some incense or put on some essential oils, ritualize it, sanctify it, and then I'll see you back here for a really awesome, nourishing practice. Let's get started. Okay, so you're going to grab your block or your makeshift block and come straight on down to lying on your back. Park your knees over your hips, lift your shins up so they're parallel to the floor. So it's kind of like you're sitting in a seat. And place your block between your thighs, closer towards your hips rather than your knees. And you can be that distance or that distance, just to give you a good sense of having something to hug into and squeeze into. And as you spend a few rounds of breath there, really just hugging on into that block, you'll start to feel the inner line of your legs activate and really aliven and wake up. You know, traditionally with how we move in life and sitting in desk chairs and sitting in car seats and lounge suites, we've become quite weak and tight in our inner thighs. So we're just going to bring a little bit more attunement and strength there as we squeeze the block. And that in and of itself can be quite hard going. So be really generous with your breath, sipping in big, full inhales and long releasing exhales. And then what I would like you to do is stack your hands right under the curve of your lower back. So one hand upon the other. So it gives you a nice reference point to keep the natural curve of your back. But you're going to start to magnetize your belly button back towards your hands. And you'll feel a really nice cinching in around your waistline. I almost imagine it like you've got a Victorian corset on. And you tighten that Victorian corset about 20%. And see that as you find that gathering of support around your waistline, and it's all the way around from where your hands are, all the way around to the belly button, as you keep squeezing your block, so you've got that awareness in your inner thighs, see how you can still maintain a really full breath. And that breath has really started to open up into the sides of your ribs, the front and the back. So you can find a lot of space and potential in the thoracic part of your spine to breathe fully as you maintain a sense of gathering and stability around your waistline. Good. So now that you've got that imprinted, you're going to release your hands down by your sides and maintain that gathering of support without flattening the lower back. See how there's a difference? And you might be able to see I'm maintaining the curve and hugging in as opposed to completely flattening it out. We want to honor the natural curves of our spine. They're there for a very good reason. We just get that sweet hugging in of support to stabilize and maintain the health of the curves of our spine. So once you've got that all worked out in your body, maintaining your really generous breath, take your arms out wide. Take a big full breath in. And then on your exhale, start to drop your legs over to the right, more towards your right armpit. Keep squeezing the block. So ideally, both knees are even. One's not shooting out. And then inhale, come up through center. And exhale, drop your knees over towards the left, towards your left armpit. Then inhale up through center. Keep squeezing your block. Exhale over to the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale up through center. And as you do this, keeping both shoulders on the ground, exhaling over, pressing into your hands, inhaling up, exhaling over, then inhaling up. Now grand finale, exhale over to the right and pause there. And really lift the right leg up into the left leg as you squeeze the block so the knees aren't coming all the way down to the floor. Really ground that left shoulder, reach through your left arm and maintain that really full, generous breath even as you find that there's a bit of intensity going on around the midsection and the inner thighs. Feet stay really active to help support you and draw you into this holistic sense of your core. Good, one more breath, you've got this. Good stuff, yogi friends. Inhale up through center and exhale over to the left. Same deal, almost all the way. Just hover off the floor, keep grounding that right shoulder, reach through the right arm. Really think about magnetizing that left thigh up into the right thigh, giving that block a good old hug, a good old squeeze. And see how big you can get with your breath in the sides of your ribs. That will help unwind any tension that you're holding in the spine. Good, last big full breath in. As you exhale, really hug the belly button and keep that hugging in as you inhale, come up through center. Good stuff. Now get rid of your block off to the side. Bring the soles of your feet together, drop your knees out wide. So doing a little bit of the opposite action, just opening up the inner thighs now. Bring your hands to your belly. And really enjoy some easy breaths there, inviting the breath to flood down into the abdominal cavity, into the pelvic bowl. And really seeing how much you can puff up the belly into your hands on the inhale. And find that sense of release and letting go of the exhale. Got another like that. And then take your hands to the outside of your thighs, hug your knees into your chest a moment. And reach around and find your strap or item of clothing or the belt, whatever it is that you're using for your strap. Wrap your strap around the ball of your right foot. Start with your left foot, the sole on the floor, so you can get a really nice sense of grounding of both thigh bones back towards the floor. Work your right leg towards straight, and I'm really not emphasizing on getting it dead straight here. It's quite nice to keep a softness in the back of the knee, so you're not going to overstretch that area and really get into the meat of the hamstrings. Then take both ends of the strap and slide your hands down the strap so you plug the head of your arm bones all the way back into the shoulders. Enjoy a few rounds of breath there as you keep pulling the toes of your right foot back to your knee. And as you pull your toes back, you create a very clear channel with a pathway of weight and breath down the center of the leg. And see if you can get even heavier in the back of the right side of the pelvis. And then you can start to experiment with working that left leg towards straight. Now, if that left thigh bone really starts to pop up and you're hardening through the front of the left leg there, I suggest rebend the leg. If it feels easeful to really extend through that left leg and nicely ground the top of the left thigh bone, then you can keep the leg straight, pulling the toes of the left foot back. Soften the space between your eyebrows, soften your jaw. And continue to be really generous with your breath. Good, one more breath like that. And then move your strap back off to the side. Keep your right leg extending up. Interlace your hands behind your head. As you inhale, lift your head and your chest off the floor. Float your left heel off the floor. Then exhale, drop your head back into your hands so you're not straining through your neck. Take a big full breath in. And as you exhale, reach through both legs even more. Inhale, lift your head and your chest a touch higher. Exhale, reach through your legs. Good, one more like that. Inhale. Exhale, reach. And then inhale, release your head and your chest back down. Hug your knees into your chest. Give a little circle around with the legs. You can shake out that right leg if it felt like there was quite a lot going on there. And then take your strap around the ball of your left foot, doing the same thing, this time with the left leg. So loop around the ball, place the sole of your right foot on the floor, just noticing that this side might be a little bit different. So it's good to start in the same way, and then you can check out what conditions you're working with and be really skillful in response to those conditions, noting it'll be different day to day. Pull the toes of your left foot back, a little bit of softness behind the knee. There's a clear pathway through the center of the knee for the weight to flow down into the left side of the pelvis, to be nice and clear as you reach all the way through the leg, nice and clear as you find a deep stretch in the back of the leg. And slide both hands down your straps. You plug the arm bones back into the shoulders, so you're really broad across your collarbones and your chest. So you can enjoy nice big full voluminous breaths there into your chest. Keeping your eye gaze really soft and broad, so there's no part of you that's overactive, there's no part of you that's hardening and actually getting in the way of finding this sense of moving in a little bit deeper. And from there you could play with extending the right leg straight. Again, just noticing if that leg bone pops up. You could even use your right hand to smooth the top of the thigh bone down, and if it's not going there for you today, just reset the foot and allow the thigh bone to ground. We want to keep the line of communication of the femur bone into the hip socket really clear, really easeful. And doing that can be quite hardening and it can cause a block. A few more breaths, just working to about 8% of your capacity here in this stretch, not going too hard. If you fight with it, your body will fight back. Good, nicely done. Take your strap off to the side. Stay really active in your feet, pulling the toes back. Interlace your hands behind your head. On your inhale, lift your head and your chest off the floor. Hover the right heel off the floor. And on your exhale, reach through both legs. Inhale, lift your head and your chest a bit higher. Exhale, reach through your legs. Let your head be heavy in your hands. One more like that. Big inhale. And exhale, reach. And this time, staying lifted with your head and your chest, and start to scissor your legs. Lifting the right leg up, left leg down. And then change, and then change. Keep your head heavy in your hands. Going slow or as fast as feels good for you today. Really active in the legs, finding that gathering of support all the way around the waistline. Noticing if you go too far with along your leg and you flare out in your chest and your belly spills out, it might be that you don't lower the leg as much. Or maybe you bend and bicycle your knees. Knowing that there will be a touch of a curve like we experienced at the beginning. It's that sweet gathering of support around the front, side, and back of the waistline that we're activating. We don't want to be too tight with it. If we had a really tight corset on, we'd block the flow. Now, sense of vitality and the processing capacity of our organs and the rest of the structures of our body and our systems, they would suffer as a result. So it wouldn't be too hard. Six-pack abs, I would suggest, just overemphasizing that is too much. We want a holistic activation of our core. Really vitalize what's there. Add a couple more. Good. Inhale, both legs up, reach up, head and chest and feet. And then exhale, release, hug your knees in. Take the soles of your feet together, knees wide, hands back to your belly. Enjoy your breath all the way into your belly. So after all that activity of hugging in, we now let it all go. Really puffing the belly button up into the hands on the inhale. And there's that sense of on the exhale. Good stuff. Last little bit, lying on our backs. Hug your knees back into your chest again. Flex your feet, spread your toes. And keep your right leg bent. Extend your left foot all the way up to the ceiling, kicking through the left heel. Take your arms wide, ground your shoulders, press into your hands. Imagine there's a block there between your legs, and if you want to use the block again between your thighs to really help you activate your inner thighs, then you can absolutely do that. Take a big full breath in. Now on your exhale, drop your legs as they are all the way over to the right. So similar to what we did before, working towards the right armpit. This time you've got your left leg straight. If it's too much, you can always re-bend the left leg. Hovering the legs just so they're off the floor. Really glue that right leg up into the left leg. You'll feel there's like a split of energy at your belly button. As you really hug and magnetize your belly button in, you find that gathering of support. There's a reach through your legs in one direction, then a reach through your upper spine and your arms in the other direction. A few more breaths here. Good stuff. Inhale back up to center. Extend your right leg up to the ceiling, energize it, bend your left leg. Get grounded in your shoulders, reaching through hands. Big full breath in. And exhale over to the left. More towards your armpit. Keep gluing that left leg up into the right. Find the split of energy at your belly. Reaching through legs. And reaching through your upper spine, reaching through your arms. Breath really resonant and full. Grounding that right shoulder, press into the left hand, one more breath. And inhale up through center. Bend your knees into your chest, lift your head in your chest and take a nice big hug. That hugging the thighs in, nice little compression for the belly, nice little abdominal massage. That little burst of intensity. And then release your head and your chest back down. Supta Baddha Konasana one last time. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Hands to your belly if that's helpful to really bring the breath awareness there, or hands down by your sides as well. Close your eyes, enjoy your breath. 5 full, really voluminous, complete breaths. And after that 5th complete breath, take your hands to the outside of your thighs, hug your knees in. Once more, lift your head and your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, take a nice big hug, press your belly into your thighs, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Then take your hands behind your shins, roll yourself upright. From there, have your legs out in front of you so you can see the spread of your toes connecting into the floor. Reach your hands back, just behind your hips, so you can get a real sense of lifting up tall. If my shirt's a bit fluffy, I'll tuck it in so you can see what's going on. There's that lift through the spine. I'm sitting high up on my sit bones, the bony protuberance is there. There's not this sense of slumping. Find that lift, and then when you can maintain that lift, lean back just a touch. You can bend your elbows, get light on your toe tips, and then hover your left shin off the floor. Magnetize in around the waistline, just like we had when we were lying on our backs. And then lift the right foot off the floor as well. And work to hug your knees in towards your belly as you lift and broaden your chest. And you can either stay there with your hands on the floor, or if you can maintain that shape, reach your hands forwards. But if you get to here, then maybe just reset your hands on the floor, maybe even lower one foot, and then you can change. So there's lots of options depending on what you're working with today. If both feet are off the floor, imagine there is a block back between your legs. And if your arms are off the floor, imagine there's a block between your hands, and give everything a good old hug in. And then draw your knees into your chest, draw your shoulders back, and lift and smile. Enjoy your breath. Another inhale. And on your exhale, lower your hands to your feet to the floor, lift your arms up. Breathe in. Exhale, twist around to the right. Take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Reach your right arm back. Sit nice and tall. Another big full breath in. And exhale, little twist. Another big full breath in. Exhale and twist. Then inhale, come back up through center, lift your arms up. Exhale, twist the other way. Right hand to outside of left thigh, left hand back behind you. Sit really tall on your sit bones. Inhale. And exhale. With the inhales here, you can really emphasize on puffing the belly up to get really spacious on the inside. And then exhale, belly button towards spine. Inhale, like you're opening the floodgates. And exhale, little cinching in. So it's not a complete dam, but there is a slight narrowing. And then inhale back to center. Reach your arms up. This time, see if you can keep your arms lifted as you lift your shins off the floor. Then you could play with the little variations of working the legs towards straight. Keep squeezing and hugging the legs in, hugging the arms in, cinching in around the belly. Inhale, whee! You might wobble with it. If it's too much, you can always lower your hands to the floor. You can bend your knees, hands forwards, lots of options. Make a skillful choice for you today, one that makes you smile as well, just like me. And exhale, lower the feet. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, twist around to the right. Inhale, up through center. Exhale, twist around to the left. Inhale, up through center. Exhale, lean back a touch, cinching around the belly. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And then this time, extend the legs and slowly roll down your spine. So you're hovering just off the floor. Heels are just off the floor, shoulder blades are off the floor. Arms are by your ears. Big inhale. And on your exhale, roll over to the right hip. Lift both shoulders off the floor. Keep your feet lifted. A few rounds of breath here, really hugging in around the side abdominal walls. Good. Inhale up through center. And exhale over to the left. Lift that left shoulder blade off the floor. Keep squeezing your legs towards each other. Inhale up through center. Exhale, lift. Give a big hug. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, twist around to the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale, twist around to the left. Inhale up through center. This time, exhale, cross your ankles and roll over, or sweep your legs around to the side and come up and over into child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide. I suggest making it quite restorative, like stacking your fists and resting your forehead on your fist. Really letting your belly button go. Really letting your belly drop down between your thighs. So each inhale, you really puff the belly towards the floor. You open up space. You open up those floodgates that flow. And the exhale, that gentle cinching, that gentle gathering in to really contain the flow, to stabilize the flow, but not cut it off. And just luxuriate in a couple more rounds of breath here. And lift your head, reach your arms forwards. Look at how you plant your hands, spread through your fingers. Activate into your fingertips. Lift your forearms off the floor and draw the head of your arm bones into your shoulders on your back. Almost like you're dragging your fingertips back towards your hips, but they don't move and your heart shoots forwards. Maintain that as you tuck your toes and hover your knees off the floor. Imagine there's a block there still between your thighs. Imagine there's a block there between your hands. There's this cinching in, this hugging in. Some really clear channels for the flow of your breath and your energy. Knees are still just hovering off the floor. Forearms are lifted off the floor. Head of the arm bones plugged into your shoulders. Collarbones broad, upper back broad. And then keep all that even as you start to extend your legs straight. Like quite a long dog, so I'm walking my feet back here. It's not about getting your heels to the floor at all. I suggest keeping a softness in the back of your knees so you really can start to move the top of your thighs back and really find the length in your spine. Thigh bones moving back. Heart gracefully, easefully moving forwards. Again, it's almost like there's a split of energy around your midsection as your belly button and all around your waistline gathers in. So this energy of into your core, vitalizing in your core, then invites really nice elongation and reach from your core in every direction. Maintain that sense of stability even as you float the right leg up. Exhale, draw your right knee to your nose, step your right foot between your hands, lower down to your back knee. And from there, bring your hands to your front thigh a moment. Press into your front thigh, so you move your belly button back towards your spine. You could even pick up your belly button, draw it up and in. Then you'll get a nice stretch through the front of the left leg, really stretching the hip flexor there, the main hip flexor, your psoas, which is part of your core. It runs all the way from your inner thigh in through the pelvis, the belly, all the way up to the base of your thoracic spine, all the way up. So it plays a big role. So we're inviting it to just nicely stretch open here because you would have likely activated it when we were doing all that knees off the floor work. So the belly button drawing in and up and that nice stretch through the front of the left leg. Inhale, reach your arms up. Then exhale, revolve around to the right. Take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and reach your right arm back. And if it feels good, you can look to the right hand. If not, go straight out to the side or back out in front of you. Drawing that belly button in and up. And the movement, the twist coming around through the thoracic with the side ribs. Big spread of the breath there will help revolve that around. And then inhale, sweep your arms back up through center, little lift. Exhale, plant your hands with your back foot tucked. Now lift off your back knee, vacuum your right knee in towards your nose. Really curl and lift. You feel that spread across your upper back. Maybe you can start to play with getting light on the left hand. Reach the left arm forwards. Really hug the right knee in, hug the right side abdominal wall in to help you stabilize. You'll be wobbling and shaking. Really invite a sense of play. Otherwise we do become very rigid. Then inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, curl your right foot between your hands. Land it. This time spin the back heel down. Line up heel of the front foot, arch of the back foot. So you can look down and check that out. Then windmill your arms up. Front leg working towards straight, really pulling up the front of the leg, all the way up into your core. Then from your core, reach your arms out wide. Big inhale. On your exhale, turn the palms of your hands up and really plug your shoulders in so you're not lifting up with the muscles around the neck and the upper back. It comes all the way around where your shoulder blades are. Then draw another big inhale. And as you exhale, reach your right hand forwards and keep that length and elongation all the way through the right side belly, right side waistline. And look over to the left side of your mat and start to circle and arc that left arm over. Then it's almost like you're holding a ball between your hands. And from that hugging in, that gathering of support around your belly, you reach through your legs, you reach through your arms, you reach through your tail, reach through the crown of your head. So a slightly different sensation than what you're probably used to in normal triangle pose. More stimulating, more activating around the core. So be just as active with your breath to help you navigate this. And then nothing much is going to change. What you're going to do is look at the top of your mat, start to shift your weight forwards over your right leg. See if you can keep your hands where they are, holding that imaginary ball. Then float your left leg off the floor. And as soon as the left foot takes flight, flex the foot, spread the toes. It will help energize you into your core, activate all your potential, even as you wobble and shake. Be willing to fall and work it out. See where you go. You learn a lot when you fall about how you bring yourself back to center. Good. And then glide yourself back to your triangle. This time, your usual extended triangle with your hand to your shin, reaching that left arm up, maybe circling and arcing it overhead for a nice stretch where you really activated around the left side waistline just now in the balancing pose. And then soft bend in your right knee. A nice big bend in your right knee as you arc that right arm up. Reverse warrior, big full breath in. And exhale, windmill your hands down. And step all the way back. You got it, child's pose again. Lots of nice resting poses in this one to really cool and settle in between the big bursts of action. So we can have this nice sense of balance and a sense of harmony, a consistent foundation of ease in the body. Take one more big full breath in. Let the belly drop, let the space open up. Long, easeful, clearing breath out. And then lift your head, send your arms out in front of you, look at your hands, spread through your fingers, activate your finger pads, really ground the base finger knuckles, and as you do that you can feel the sense of lift almost out of the wrist. So when you come up into down dog, you're not going to be dumping and collapsing there. You lift up your forearms, energetically drag your hands back towards your legs, you shoot your heart forwards, You feel this sense of breadth across your collarbones and your upper back. Maintain all that as you tuck your toes, hover your knees off the floor. Notice a tendency to collapse and let your energy spill out. Cinch in around your waistline. Spread your breath into your side ribs, into your upper back, into the front of your chest and your collarbones. Notice how full and big you can get, how dimensional, three-dimensional you can get with that. Let your head drop and start to extend your legs towards straight. I suggest walking your feet back so you can really feel this sense of length in your spine from the cinching in around your belly. Really open up and expand the side ribs, spread across the back, the collarbones, down the arms. From the cinching in your belly, reach down your legs, pressing the top of your thigh bones back. And maintain that stability for that flow. As you inhale, reach your left leg high. Notice I'm not just wildly flinging it up. That's letting go and flicking the flow out. Maintain it as you float the left leg easily up. Exhale, draw your left knee to your nose. Step your left foot between your hands. Lower down to your back knee. Hands to your front thigh. And then from there, press your hands into your front thigh, or even take your right hand to your belly. Pull your belly in and up. And that's Victorian corseting around your waistline. Get a really awesome stretch here through the front of your right thigh. You can soften your pelvis forwards without letting it all spill out. Pull the belly button in and up. Maintain that stretch even as you get heavy in the legs. With that cinching in, it will really float your ribs up off your belly. You'll find that lateral expression as well, which is so healing, so helpful for the structure of your body and how you move. As you inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, spinning around your waistline. So the ribs spin around, the legs stay very steady and hugging in. Back of the right hand to the outside of the left knee, left arm reaching back. Notice if you've gone somewhere off center and come back in. Nice and steady in the legs, cinch in around the belly. If it feels good, look over that back arm, the left arm. Each inhale you get bigger and taller and broader and fuller. And each exhale you follow its trajectory around into the twist. One more like that. Then inhale, sweep your arms back up through center. Exhale, place your hands very clear in how you place your hands. Lift off the back knee and vacuum from the sole of your left foot all the way up to your knee, all the way up to your nose. Round and puff up your back. Enjoy your breath. You can stay here. You can always come down to that back knee if you need to at any stage. Really hug that knee in. Cinch in around your waistline, and maybe you can find a sense of lightness on the right hand, or maybe reaching that right hand forwards. Wobbling, shaking, experimenting, working it out. It's how we find new territory and possibility. The easeful flow of our breath, even as things get quite intense and challenging here. You can find that undertone of ease. Good. Then inhale, reach your left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Spin your back heel down. Check out your feet, heel of front foot, arch of back foot. Nice long stride. And come all the way up. Nice long stride will really help you experience this ability to draw in, to extend out. If you're here, it's kind of different. It makes me feel a little bit shortened in my possibility, a little bit contracted. So maybe going a bit longer in your stride than you're used to for your triangle pose. Then when you've got that, squaring to face over the long side of your mat, find that cinching in, but not that hardening. It's different, we know that. And reach your arms wide. float them up from the straps of support that you've got around your side ribs, your shoulder blades, not from here. See the difference in the quality? And then keeping those reference points to support you, flip the palms of your hands. Inhale, glide forwards in space, finding that length in the left side waistline. Maintain that length. Then all you're going to do is inhale, arc your right arm up and overhead. And imagine there's a ball there between your hands, a nice big, bright, luminous energy orb between your hands. Keep space behind the knee, because the tendency here is to take the load into the joints and hang out into the joints. We're really recruiting strength and stability around the core. So there's space and flow and health in the joints. This is your anti-aging practice. Good, good, my friends. All you're going to do now, last little bit, is softly bend into that front leg. Keep your hands as they are, if you can. And as soon as that back leg takes flight, flex the foot, spread the toes pointing over the long side of your mat, pulling up and grounding through that balancing leg, reaching through your hands from your core. Reach and extend in every possible direction. Another breath. And gracefully float back to where you came from. Awesome stuff. Then your regular Utthita Trikonasana. Arms spread wide, or I know for me, because we really did activate through that side waistline and the pelvic stabilizer there on the right. So it can feel quite nice to re-arc that arm back overhead and spin the belly and the chest towards the ceiling. Extend through your legs, extend through your arms, a few more breaths. Good, soft bend in the knee as you reset the hand behind you. Then big bend into the front leg. Circle that left arm overhead, reverse warrior two. One big full breath in. And exhale, windmill your hands down. Step back. Could be a groovy little stretch in down dog. You could sneak in a cheeky little vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, something like cobra would feel quite nice. Stretch through the belly. Then all the way up and over, all the way over onto your back again. Back to where we started, back to where we began. Yeah. Hug your knees into your chest. I suggest finishing here with a supine twist. If at this point you want to pause the video, you got a little bit more time, you could do some bridges or some wheels if you feel ready. We really haven't done any shoulder opening, so unless you feel super easeful and wheel, I wouldn't advise it. But bridge could be really nice. Really open up the front of the body. So you could spend another few minutes with that. And then together, let's finish with our arms wide. Lift your knees, feet off the floor. Quite casual this time around compared to the beginning. Just simply, sweetly drop your legs all the way over to the right. You've got all this awareness and attunement now around the belly, and this nice easeful ending. I suggest really allow the space, the volume of the inner body of the inhale, puffing the belly out, really opening around the pelvis, the pelvic floor on the inhale. And exhale, you just feel this washing through, this almost like a flood, a movement all the way through your body that collects any debris, that collects any stagnation. But it's got to start with a big full breath, really open up the belly. And exhale like a big wash and cleanse. A couple more like that. Let the legs be really heavy. One more breath. It's important that you keep your belly button magnetized towards your spine, even as you inhale here, to safely lift your legs up through center. You're not going to pull anything along the way. And exhale, drop your legs over to the left. Let the bones be really heavy. Nothing activated in your muscle tissue. It's just all about you really dropping into the flow of your breath here. Seeing how much space you can create in your belly and your pelvis and your side ribs with your inhale. Find that release, that sense of being deeply cleansed, being freed on your exhale. A few more breaths. And exhale, draw your belly to your spine. Inhale up through center. And exhale, Supta Baddha Konasana again. Soles of the feet together, knees wide, hands to your belly. And if anything you take from this practice, it's this real sense of how to find and open up to a deep belly breath. You know, a lot of times in life we're told to suck it up and suck it in, and really tight waistbands, and you know, being quite aggressive in our days. We're being busy and rush and being stressed, and then doing quite aggressive contractive movement that really hardens around the waistline can be quite counterproductive to health and vitality in the body. We want to come into a place where we can open up this area that can settle and soothe the nervous system, that can really enliven the processing capacity of your organs to do all the good things that they know how to do. Lots of good things like metabolizing fats, metabolizing hormones. So even if you do a lot of strength-based, really vigorous work in your yoga practice, you've got to counterbalance it with this, the restorative, with the release, with the letting go. So that even when you do the real active stuff, it comes from a really soothed and nourished nervous system, being really rested in your body, and a real deep connection, a continuous foundation to ease and continuous flow of the breath. So you could stay here for your last few minutes of practice in Supta Baddha Konasana, really practicing that. Or you could completely stretch out in your Shavasana, or if it's the end of the day, you could spin around to a wall and put your legs up the wall to really restore before bed. So many options in your yoga toolbox now, particularly if you follow some of my other videos. They make a really nice, nourishing, easeful choice for you, minimizing any tendencies to have to make something happen. And just simply, sweetly rest and trust that all the good stuff is being enacted on your behalf, all the good stuff in the systems of your body. That supported by trillions of cells, that is supported by eons of years of intelligence, of evolution encoded in your cells. Supported by your restful breath. You can deeply let go and simply be. This is where I'll leave you. Try to spend at least another minute here, knowing that with that choice to slow down, to spend time really nourishing you, you'll have so much more to give when you re-emerge back in your day. So thank you. Thank you for all that you are, all that you will be. Namaste.